Hey guys, it's Raj here from Futsal, and today we are gonna be discussing about what's wrong with the current FC Barcelona. I mean, the crisis they face, what would be the possible ways to fix their problem. And before we get into this, let us go back to Pep Guardiola's FC Barcelona, and between 2006 and 11, when they were considered one of the best teams in Europe, probably the best team in Europe, let's just be honest with ourselves. The club last won the Champions League in 2015, and just 5 years down the line, the club are in a huge crisis. But before we get started, let me tell you that there are multiple problems with this club that cause these crises. One of those problems is the current FC Barcelona board and the president Josep Maria Bartomeu. Bartomeu came into presidency in 2014, and ever since being elected Barcelona president, they have seen a string of transfer failures. Some of the big name transfer failures in FC Barcelona include Felipe Coutinho, who the club signed in January of 2018, paying a club record 160 million euros. Then signing Ousmane Dembele for 105 million euros and Antoine Griezmann for 120 million euros, paying his buyout clause. Just these three transfers alone amounted to a whopping 385 million euros. While the board was trying to find a replacement for Xavi, the transfer of Iniesta and Neymar added fuel to the fire, and the club tried to desperately sign Galacticos and splashed out money to replace these players. Griezmann was signed as a long-term replacement for Luis Suarez, but now it is safe to assume that these signings were recruitment failures from the board and an act of desperation to save the board from any criticism. Not only this, but FC Barcelona have suffered in the form of youth development since Bartomeu took over. La Masia still produce amazing talents, and these talents go somewhere else to see game time, as in the case of Xavi Simons and Takefusa Kubo and many others. Now the second reason, lack of experienced managers. Ever since Luis Enrique left, Barcelona have experimented with two different managers and have reached its, fair to say, subpar results against what the team is capable of. Barcelona do not have a more permanent experienced head coach who would fit this style of play. Even though Quique Setién is fairly new to FC Barcelona, it's fair to say that his future is on the balance and can easily be sacked if Barcelona do not perform in the Champions League. And last but not the least, the final reason why FC Barcelona are in this crisis is because of the players themselves. When the team is under pressure, whether it be small teams or big teams, the entire team seems to choke. But in this video, we are going to be talking about 4 players. These 4 players are the main reason why the team seems to underperform whenever they play and are under pressure. The first name that comes into mind is Gerard Piqué. Once among the top defenders in the world, Gerard Piqué has been out of his prime for a long time, and it's safe to say that he is among the culprits to FCB's poor performances. In 2014, Luis Enrique used to select Jeremy Mathieu and Javier Mascherano ahead of Piqué because of his dip in form, and it is said that he hasn't actually recovered from it. In addition, his positioning and lack of awareness has been poor, and his lack of pace further adds fuel to the fire. He's also very weak mentally and can lose focus very easily, as seen against Roma and Liverpool, both in the second legs. Honestly, the only reason he might still be playing for Barcelona and being his starting 11 day in and day out is because he was the one who initiated Barca's current sponsorship agreement with Rakuten. The second culprit is Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba is still one of the best attacking fullbacks, but on the defensive side of things, he has been an extremely poor defensive fullback for a long time, always caught out of position. Let us take for example the Divock Origi goal at Anfield. Of course, it wasn't only Jordi Alba's fault, as others were also caught off guard, but that position was still his to fill. Certainly an important clock to current FC Barcelona, and his attacking exploits are world class even today, but it is safe to say that defensively he isn't an ideal choice. Now this might seem to be a surprise for many of the people out there, but the third player I'm gonna go for is Sergio Busquets. This might seem to be a surprise to all, considering that Busquets has been an amazing servant to the club and a world-class CDM, not gonna lie, but considering his age, it's not hard to imagine he slowed down. I mean, he's only 32, but physicality has never been on Busquets' side, and neither has pace, which is a big requirement in modern-day defensive midfielders. He's an absolute machine when playing against teams at Camp Nou, as he's able to protect the backline. But when the game breaks down and Barcelona is faced against a counter-attacking team, Busquets has a nightmare of a game. For instance, FC Barcelona versus Liverpool at Camp Nou versus Anfield. At Camp Nou, he was one of the best players on the pitch and he dominated the entire midfield. But when it came to playing the same team at Anfield, he was all over the place and was unable to do even the simplest of tasks and lost the ball a number of times. And this is one reason why Barcelona need a new modern defensive midfielder. It didn't come as a surprise to a lot of you, and we all know who he's gonna be. It's Luis Suarez. It's no surprise that Luis Suarez was one of the best strikers in the world just a few years ago. But oh boy, how long have those years passed by? Talk about a player who hasn't scored an away goal in the Champions League since 2014, and you realize how much he has declined from the top striker to an average goal scorer. Now, don't get me wrong, Luis Suarez is still amazing and outstanding at finishing his chances, but the problem lies in his inability to link up with any other player other than Leo Messi, as he barely even tries, and also his lack of speed and fitness. I think the only reason he seems to be playing right now is due to Barca's lack of attacking options, and of course, being best friends with Leo Messi also has its own benefits. Hey viewers, before we move ahead, why don't you subscribe to this channel and like the video? You have come this far, might as well share it with your friends. Collecting all these facts, what would be the best way to improve this FC Barcelona side? Well, first of all, I would like to know your guys' opinion on this topic. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Now, what I believe is that the only way to fix this problem with FC Barcelona is to concentrate on the long-term things rather than the short-term signings. First of all, the 2021 elections, and Queues and Barcelona fans would surely hope that their next president isn't someone named Josef Maria Bartomeu. Second would be to hire a manager who's more experienced and suits the Barcelona style of play. Ronald Koeman would be a pretty solid option for Barcelona going forward. And third, Barcelona's top priority should be a left back, a centre back, a central defensive midfielder, and a striker. And currently Barca are trying to sign Lautaro Martinez. Apart from that, putting faith in Samuel Umtiti should take priority, because when fit, he was the better defender when compared to Piqué, due to which he's also won the World Cup with France. Him and Clement Lenglet would surely go a long way to fixing a broken defense. Also, trusting in the youth would go a long way, as Barcelona currently have huge potentials in Araujo, Alex Collado, Riqui Puig, Monchu, and Ansu Fati. Now, before we sign off, do you think Barcelona can win the Champions League this way? Let me know in the comments below. Who knows what can happen as long as a certain Argentine known as Leo Messi is still in the team.